What's up, guys? So we're gonna go over 3 reasons why I think that DinoSwap is here to stay. I believe it's called DinoSwap. DinoSwap. I'm gonna go with Dino because there's dinosaurs everywhere. But let's go over this one. This was just launched less than 24 hours ago. It was launched late last night, Standard Eastern Time. Because you can see it's actually you can't see, but it's 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. And this was launched around the same time yesterday, maybe slightly later. Last night, I think it was around 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So you'll see this quickly has almost $380 million in TVL. And that's less than 24 hours. So it's pretty phenomenal. It took off. I mean, it's no Iron Finance. It didn't get to 1.5 billion yet in the first 36 hours, but it's solid, right? Iron Finance is a project that's going back to zero, just like V1. V2 is going the same place. However, that's another video you could find on the channel if you go look it up. Let's actually see. Speaking of Iron Finance, let's just take a quick breather and see where that is. All right, so that's 740 million. So it's about double what this guy's at, a little less, but that's on its way down. As you can see, this took off. This got to over 1.5 billion dollars in TVL within the first 36 hours. I covered it, and it's going to zero. It's already down big time. Let's see exactly where it is today. Yep, this is Iron Finance V2. Yep, pretty terrible. Down to 38 cents and dropping and dropping and dropping. It's a shit project going nowhere. But people did flood into it, which is actually, alarming in its own right. But it's another story for another day. So back to this project, I really think this project has legs, and this is a solid project to get into. Again, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just explaining what I'm doing and how I'm seeing things. Hopefully this information helps some people make their own decisions out there. So this has $380 million in TVL relatively quickly, especially for a newer farm on Polygon. Fortunately, Polygon has had a bunch of scams, and it also has some projects that just haven't really taken off. But it also has some that have taken off. And some of them were not going back to Iron. Some of them weren't as promised. But this one shows real promise. So let's go over a few things. First of all, I'm going to go into the 3 reasons why I think this is a very promising farm to get into. 1, this is a VC-backed project, okay? So if you look here, they raised $4.7 million led by top crypto VC funds, right? You can look at the name. You can see this is on Medium if you want to find this article. I'll put the link below this video. But you can go through this and you can see some of the VCs that invested in this project. Some of them are known. Some of them I haven't really heard about before or looked into. But there's a bunch of them in there. And this is always a good sign, especially when some of them are actually known. Because basically, when you're a VC-backed project, you're not going to be just some anonymous project that pops up and has a bunch of shady devs that are going to rug pull you. So this is definitely a very good sign towards a project. Along with this, it's not the only good sign. It also has a CertTech audit. CertTech is one of the best auditing companies, if not the best, in the space. Okay, so a lot of audit companies, a lot of them, honestly, scare me when I see them more than give me confidence. Tech rate. So CertTech is one of the better ones. So if we look and we go through it, this is their TAR. This is the report on their TAR pit. Then we have their token and DinoSwap. So you can see this findings, and you have to really go through these audits as well. You have to look through them and see what the findings were. Volatile code, and that it was resolved, right? A lot of people just see that it has a CertTech audit and they go, okay, well, it doesn't mean they resolved everything from the audit. They paid for an audit. They probably paid a lot of money because CertTech is not cheap, and they're thorough. But at the same time, if they didn't take care of and resolve these issues, then what's the point? Especially major findings, right? Like here. They had a major finding, but they took care of it. It's resolved. So that's number 2 reason that this project gives me a lot of confidence, right? Number 3 is they are phenomenal marketers, okay? Phenomenal marketers, I'm going to combine this in number 3. Not only are they phenomenal marketers, but they also have a unique product. So they're phenomenal marketers. They have a Telegram group that already has hit 7,500 users. Let's take a look at this just so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's 7,500 users on their Telegram group. Get that guy back out of here. Let's take a look at their Twitter. About 8,000 Twitter followers, and again, they were just launched, so they built this up before they actually launched. And they know what they're doing. I could tell because I went through it, and they're very good marketers, which is how they got to this TVL so quickly. So that's another plus for this project. That's actually a huge plus that people don't put enough value in, because marketing makes a project, right? If you want a project to stand the test of time, you better have good marketing, and then you better build a good community. But it all starts with the marketing. So the other reason that this is unique is they have some unique things, right? These tar pits and these extinction pools. Let's get into the extinction pools. So what these are burn pools. So you can see it says right here, by entering these pools, you understand and agree that 100% of your deposited Dino will be burned to earn the reward tokens over the remaining duration of the pool. So basically, from my understanding, and I'm not interested in these, so I didn't dig too deep on them, but from my understanding is you're basically submitting your tokens in here and they're immediately burnt. So that definitely helps with the sell pressure on the tokens from all the ones being farmed. And then you get some rewards back, right? It says ROI here, so this is good because yesterday there was some pushback on this. There was some people, this used to say APR or APY, I don't remember which, but it was pretty high. It was like 10,000, and people were going in here, buying the Dino token, and immediately burning them in here, thinking that we were going to get, these rewards. And they were, like I said, they were very high, and they were listed as an APR. I'm pretty sure it was APR, but it could have been APR, APY. And then quickly they found out that the rewards were not coming in at the pace that they thought, and they didn't make sense, so they were actually wrong. They went back and forth on the Telegram with the team. The team initially pushed back, but they did change, and they did say it's an ROI, not an APR, which they should have listed as an ROI in the first place. But big ups to the team because they actually fixed it, and now they list it as ROI. They decided, I don't know exactly how because I didn't follow it that closely, but they did compensate some of the initial users, or all the initial users, because, again, they thought that they were getting more rewards than they were, which is the only reason that they bought and burned those tokens. So that's good. That's a good sign, right? They made that right. They fixed this, so this is not misleading anymore. And now it says ROI, which is the return you're going to get when you put your tokens in here and burn them. I'm seeing these numbers change, so be careful in here still. I'm still not personally interested in burning any tokens in here, buying and burning tokens. But it could be something that's appealing. It could work out. It could not work out, just like everything. But you want to take a look, and you want to look at the ROI, and this number is fluctuating. I have noticed that. So what am I interested in? I'm interested in the fossil farms. Let's get rid of that guy. So these farms are still kicking off very good APRs. Okay, the native paired with USDC is very solid. Has $10 million in liquidity right now, as well as most of these. So what you'll see is, a lot of people dumped into here. I have a feeling Alameda Research is in here. They've been jumping in, especially with stables in a lot of these projects early, and just wreaking havoc because they have so much money as a whale that they're throwing money around. But I have a feeling they're in here. I don't know that. I haven't looked into it deep enough yet. But that's a lot of liquidity, and it happened very quickly yesterday in stables, which is usually what they do. So, but there's a lot of projects. There's a lot, liquidity spread apart in here, and a lot of different farms, which is great to see. I personally, I'll tell you how I'm playing this. Again, this is not financial advice. If I got into this project super early, like a few moments after it launched, I would have picked up my Dino token, which, by the way, here's the chart. You can see it took off. Pretty standard stuff for a farm, for a project. Took off, came down, came back up, and is kind of hovering here since. Actually, this is really good, and this could be attributed to that extinction. These extinction pools could be putting that burn mechanism in place, and that could be helping the token retain its value, because you'll see this just taper down. So this is actually retaining its value pretty well. So if I got in this early enough, which I did not, I would be, and I got my tokens cheap enough, I would be in this guy. I'd definitely be in the Dino USDC pool. It still could work out getting in there. I just don't trust it. I think there's a lot of liquidity in here, and there's probably a lot of downward selling pressure on these tokens, and I don't see enough people in the extinction pools to make up for it long term. It's holding up all right now, but I don't see it long term lasting. Again, that's just how I see it. I could be wrong. So again, I'm not in there. If I got in there right away, and I know people that have, they are doing very well right now. And then I don't have to worry about too much about a permanent loss because they got their tokens at such a discount to where they're trading at now. So where am I? I'm in some of these pools. Okay, these pools are still kicking off. Here's what I'm in. Very good rewards, very good APRs. They're not too saturated. They have a good amount of liquidity in it, but they're not saturated by any means. And I feel comfortable with here because there's one stable, like here, this one for example, right? There's a stable mixed with a coin, right? With a token that's not super volatile. Let's see what that is. The XMark token, honestly, I don't even know what this token is, nor do I really care. I only have it and bought it for the purpose of the liquidity pool, and I'll be selling it after. And the one thing I did was I jumped in and I just made sure it wasn't super volatile, and especially recently, because I don't plan on being this forever. So I want to make sure that recently that this is not obscenely volatile, right? Like it's not just falling off cliffs, which it's really not, right? Looks in the last 30 days. Yes, it came down, hovered here. It's kind of trending and hovering between $1 and $1.19, $1.16. Actually got lucky because this was at $1.06 yesterday when I got in, and now it's at $1.18. So I'm making money on the token and the increase in LP value, as well as my rewards, right? I didn't expect that. I expected it to kind of hold or lose a little bit, but I'll take it. So that's how I'm playing this, and then the other one is a stable coin, so I'm not super worried about that. So these rewards, this is very, very safe, honestly, very safe. Again, as long as I know it's not going to be a rug, which I'm very confident in that, this is a safe pool. As are some of these, honestly, depending on which way you like to go. So this might be appealing. I don't know too much about this CGG. I haven't even looked at that token, but that could be a good way. The APRs are even more solid than some of these. And then you can go to stables if you want to. It's not appealing enough for me, but like that doesn't make sense with the risk you have to take just by being in any farm. The code exploit, flash loan attack risk, I just wouldn't do it, but a lot of people do, as you can see. So again, this is a great farm. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks very safe, and just wanted to kind of drop some of the information that I see on it. Do me a favor, it's a brand new channel. I'm hoping to get this information to you guys as quickly as possible. If I could have, I would have done a video last night, but I had to do a little more research on the project first before I announced it. So like the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get these alerts right away, because I will start to drop these much earlier so people can get in when the APRs are even juicier than they are right now, right? So like, thumbs up, and subscribe, and I promise you I will get you in some of these super early, the trusted projects that I think are as safe as can be. Nothing's 100% safe, but safe as can be in DeFi. And see you next time.